The Permian extinction was the biggest mass extinction out of the 5 biggest extinctions. Mass extinctions are when 3 out of 4 species have been wiped out. The Permian extinction wiped out 95% of the world's species that were marine animals, land animals, and insects. This shows the percentage of animals that are becoming more endangered closer to extinction. Once they have reached 70%, then we'll have ourselves another mass extinction. There are 2 main theories for the Permian extinction. One, that the Earth was struck by an asteroid or from a volcano erupting causing environmental events like global warming. The increase in volcanic activity from the Siberia between the boundaries of Permian and Triassic stages led to extreme global warming by runaway greenhouse gases. The increase in CO2 and methane from the rapid global warming was too quick for species to adjust, as sea temperatures rose by 10 degrees, making them die out. The seafloor was suffering from the effects of global warming. The ocean was experiencing oceanic anoxia, where the water lacked oxygen, which strangled the marine species. Plants and photosynthesis plankton died out as they were overpowered by the CO2 and they couldn't keep up to absorb it. Carbon-12 and methane were locked up in high-pressured ice cages that were ready to burst. Once these cages exploded, the Great Methane Burst let out even more greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. The greenhouse had now made the Earth an overbearing hothouse that killed 95% of species. This demonstrates us that the volcanic activity that let out so much carbon dioxide that was created the rapid global warming. This then made the oceans warmer, which absorbed the oxygen, which led to oceanic anoxia. This gas buildup of hydrogen sulfide that destroyed the ozone shield, letting in enormous amounts of radiation to kill the remaining life. Today we are starting to have similarities to the Permian extinction. We have many species that are becoming extinct and a wide range of species that are very endangered. The similarity is of global warming from greenhouse gases have been rising our CO2 levels. This graph shows that each year our CO2 levels, and we have had more of an increase earlier last year. By increasing levels of CO2, the ocean is slowly becoming more acidic and drops in oxygen levels.
Due to scientists researching this topic and becoming more aware of what occurred during the time, they were able to reconstruct the climate on Earth when the event occurred. This has been shown to be extremely important, as scientists were able to use this to see what other factors contributed to the Permian extinction and if climate played a major role within it or not. Through conducting research, scientists were able to determine that climate change that was induced by Siberian traps, volatile emissions, and also possible destruction of the ozone layer by organohalogen release could explain the collapse of terrestrial and marine ecosystems. This picture clearly demonstrates the diversity of marine animal families over geological time and how they vary from animals we have today. Through researching the topic, scientists have been able to determine that through a combination of multiple things such as methane hydrate release, climate change, ocean anoxia, and sea level decrease have all contributed to the mass extinction. Since first recognizing the event of the historical mass extinction 2 centuries ago, paleontologists now believe them to have been gradual events that occurred over time. The graph that is currently being shown demonstrates the connection between mass extinction and the amount of carbon dioxide that is present in the atmosphere at that current time. This clearly demonstrates that the more carbon dioxide that is present, the more of an impact it's going to have on the environment, and the bigger the extinction may be. And if we don't do anything about the human contribution of carbon dioxide, then there is the possibility of another mass extinction occurring. It has been made extremely clear that after researching the topic of the events of the late Permian extinction are something that more people need to be made aware of. If more people are aware of what happened, then they are more likely going to decrease the amount they are contributing to climate change, which will help to decrease the rate at which it is happening. If human-induced climate change doesn't lower or stop soon, then something similar to the Permian extinction may occur again. Climate change has been shown to potentially be extremely dangerous if nothing is done about it. done about it, the rate of climate change isn't slowed down or individuals don't start to lower the amount they are contributing to it, then it could lead to dramatic changes on Earth.
If you look out your window and you see a pond and it's filled with 100 storks in 1970, today there would only be 42. Take out important freshwater species or marine species, start to see these cascades of effects on other wildlife.